I'm Kathy, and the Celtic Mink Commentary Grandma got a YouTube channel. So today I'm not going to be riffing on the daily news. So I promise I'm going to improve my video editing skills as soon as my personal taxes are done. And let's face it, preparing taxes takes time. So, today's civics lesson. There are three co-equal branches of government: the executive branch, the president, and the U.S. Marshals and the Department of Justice. So basically, the president proposes, the president signs bills into law or vetoes them. Now, Congress critters write the bills. Congress critters sends those completed bills to the president for his approval or disapproval. And finally, the judiciary. This is the judges. These are the people who interpret the law and decide whether or not laws are constitutional. This is not the job of the president. So, I'm wondering still, why aren't our masters of the universe, our Congress critters, ceding their power to Elon Musk, dictator and traitor? But let's face it, our masters of the universe are bullies. But dictator Musk is a bigger bully. So they have rolled over and ceded their power to the Department of Government Efficiency, or Doge. And like good little puppies, they have rolled over so they can get their bellies scratched by dictator Musk. Now, we all know that the U.S. government, well, maybe we don't all know, but the U.S. government is the biggest consumer of goods in the country. They buy from all sorts of people. Farmers, medical equipment. They also disperse funds and spend money. And when programs are cut, people lose their jobs. But why isn't Congress doing their job? Why aren't they governing instead of performative acts that have no intrinsic value, that don't improve people's lives, but guess what? They got to own the libs. So, but what are they doing to make your life better, to make your life safer? So, not only does dictator Musk live in the White House, now he is holding press conferences in the Oval Office while even Trump cedes his power as president to dictator Elon Musk, traitor. So, we are entering the Gilded Age. Power to the billionaires instead of we the people. So, dictator Elon Musk and his illegal doggy department are trying to dismantle some of the following departments. 1. Centers of Medicare and Medicaid services. So, maybe by lack of insurance and lack of funding, those death panels are coming back. 2. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the only agency that protects consumers. 3. The Department of Education, the people who set the standards for the government for education services and provide funding for special services. The Federal Aviation Administration, So far, we have had 6 airplane crashes in less than 4 weeks. Isn't that exciting? Don't you feel safer traveling by air? Assuming you could even afford to travel by air. And what is this going to do to airlines businesses? Can't wait to find out what that one happens in the news. Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. These are the people who help when natural crises happen. They are the ones who come in and bring the emergency services that aid people immediately, that distribute funds to people, no questions asked about income requirements, making money available to people, making shelter available to people, making food available to people, making sure that people aren't being ripped off by dodgy, shady scammers. Oh, National Institute of Health. Well, these are the people that do medical research. Guess we don't need that. Who wants to feel that medical research is going to make our lives easier and safer? The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or our National Weather Service, that is being gutted. We don't need to know about the movement of weather across our country. Let's go back to relying on the caterpillars and birds. They know what's going to happen before it does. So let's rely on folklore for our weather predictions. And guess what? Even Puxatawny Phil gets it wrong 40% of the time. And the U.S. Agency for International Development. So, I did research into 3 agencies. The U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, the Department of Education, or DOE, and the Department of Consumer Financial Protection. So, USAID. So, these provide funds for, can you read my own writing? Healthcare, stop the spread of disease, provide disaster relief, stabilize regions, global efforts are in disarray. So, what is going on over there? No, let's see. U.S. aid funding is stopped. So, food that was meant to aid people who are hungry is now rotting in U.S. warehouses and on the docks. It's not being distributed, and since this food is bought from U.S. farmers, gutting this program will reduce the amount of money spent on agriculture. So, 2, people are losing access to medication. I mean, who needs medicine after all? Why don't we just let their natural immunity protect them from crippling diseases, HIV? Nobody needs medicine after all. We can go back to folklore protections, shamans chanting and rattling and smoke in the air. And of course, programs are falling apart due to lack of funding. Clinics and hospitals are closing. And people are going to die, people are dying, and people have already died. And the goodwill that these programs send about the U.S. around the world, well, guess what? I guess we aren't going to look so good anymore, because if there's no money for programs to help people, then maybe we should just let China do it. Okay, the Department of Education is another department they want to defund and destroy. Well, I guess we're going to do it for the children. We're going to protect our children. We are going to make education less accessible and classroom size increase. So, what does it do? Sets federal education policy and establishes policy and enforces laws against discrimination. Okay, don't need to worry about that as long as you're white. Unless you're poor, and if you're a person of color, don't even worry. You don't need any help or protection. 2. Distribute and monitor funding. Federal funds for education and tracks how it's used and trends. Collecting and analyzing data for school and academic funding. So, what's going to happen? Well, let's face it. Red states rely more on federal funding than blue states. In fact, blue states send more to the federal government, and more of those taxes are distributed to red states than collected from them. So, lack of funding means losses in the classroom. Let's see. No more student loans. No more free school lunches. No more funding to support special needs students and the programs that support and help them. Remember, a bill DEIA includes accessibility. So, I guess we don't need special access for people. Okay. The Department of Consumer and Financial Protection. So what does it do? It protects consumers from unfair business practices and is funded by fees from banks, not taxes. It issues rules to protect workers from predatory financial institutions. Think about payday loans. Think about bank junk fees. Think about fees for accessing ATMs. And think about bank overcharges. It has handled millions of consumer complaints. It protects people from scammers. So, the DCFBP has recovered $21 billion. But I don't think we need this agency anymore. After all, why do we, consumers, need protection from unethical businesses that are looking to take advantage of us? No other government agency protects consumers. No other government agency has returned that much money to consumers. But then again, like I said, we are entering the Gilded Age, powered to the billionaires instead of we the people. So, what is the real reason Doggy is trying to do this? They are trying to bring back what is called impoundment. This allows the executive branch to take funds that Congress, who holds the power of the purse, the national checkbook, and decides how our money is spent. But impoundment allows the president to take control of taxpayers' money. They are claiming it for spending reforms. Actually, they're just cutting programs with willy-nilly with no thought to the consequences. So, Trump needs to defy court orders. Trump is losing in court. Now, isn't the Republican Party the party of law and order? Aren't we supposed to respect the judges? Aren't the judges independent of the executive branch of government? Can't they tell the executive branch what to do? Why are our government representatives and dictator Elon Musk, traitor, telling Trump to defy court orders. What is happening to the rule of law in this country? And what is happening to the Republican Party that is telling him, hey, it's okay to do this. We're no longer the party of law and order. We're scofflaws. When we don't like something, we don't have to follow the courts anymore. Because why? Because we're rich. Power to the billionaires. And so, what's going to happen to us? What's going to happen to we the people? What happened to separation of powers at the executive branch, Congress, and the Supreme Court, our Department of Judiciary, who interprets the law? For now, Elon Musk, dictator and traitor, is deciding how we spend our money. He is defying the court orders. He is not following the rule of law. What does the richest man in the world need to be doing, rummaging through our private data? What's he going to do with it? Is he going to sell it? Is he going to monetize it? Is he going to give it to our enemies? I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just Kathy, and I am riffing on my opinion on the day's news. Thank you.